Test, test. Oh my goodness. There we go. Jeez. I don't know why everything got reset. Okay, that was interesting. I think it's because I just updated my computer. Okay. Well, we're starting off a little weak. It's okay. I gotta get everything situated from the weekend. What's up, guys? What's up, guys? What's up? Soldier Extreme, what's good? Blur Vision, what's good? How is it going, everybody? Sorry, music is loud. 1 second. Okay. Okay, yes. Sorry. I guess my computer wanted to forget everything that I programmed into it last week. How was y'all's weekend? Is this better? Is my mic better? Volume on the music, is that better too? Should I turn music up? Leave it down? Blur Vision, you're essentially my admin. You're helping me out, that's for sure. How's everything sounding? Before we begin, music is good and mic is a bit higher. Oh, it's even higher, or like my mic is higher than the music. Do you want me to, and mic a bit higher? Do you want me to turn up the mic? Testing, testing. Is this good? You can't hear me properly. It's because my mic is too low. Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. Testing, testing, everybody. Perfect. Awesome. Awesome, guys. Okay. Exciting day. I'm going to turn my mic down a little bit more because I'm seeing it's kind of clipping. Very exciting day. Guess what? We are doing a brand campaign starting today. We're starting editing this Altra campaign. We did the voiceover on Friday. We got in a pretty good spot. There's still some issues, but we have like the rough idea of how it's sounding, what it's looking like, so we can actually start it. We're gonna solidify the actual voiceovers in potentially a week, but this is like the rough draft. I had people send me I had the actors, the talent, send me their voiceovers. So we did a lot of work on this voiceover today. Actually, not that much. We spent like 30 minutes clip, like before stream. I wanted to get it kind of in a good place so we can actually work today. So let's go ahead and play it. Sujal, thank you for stopping in. Feel free to check this past broadcast because we're gonna be editing this whole project on stream, and potentially this week I might do like a 8-hour stream or something before July 4th to get this edit in a good place, or potentially even finish it, depending on how much we get done in the next couple days. I might be streaming earlier than normal, but finishing around the same time because I want to be working on this campaign and get it out in the world. So let's get the Davinci timeline set up. How was y'all's weekend? Tell me about it. Was it good? Nice and restful? Mine was not restful. It was not restful, but it was fun. I went to an engagement party in Dallas, so that was cool. She'll approve because we'll both be working. She works. She's a PR. She has her own PR firm. Fun fact. So we both work remote from our house. I do a lot of editing and filming, of course, and she does PR for companies. So kind of a fun little marketing crew. So the to-do list for today: finish the selects completely, which we don't have very much. Don't worry, we're not going to be doing selects the whole stream. And then we're going to do an intro sequence at the beginning of this that's high energy, get us interested in what's happening, and we're going to kind of sort out the voiceover. So without further ado, let me play what the voiceover that we have right now. We did a lot of moving around, and it's kind of it's not in its final state, so we're gonna have the talent redo it and send us a new one. But this is kind of the rough draft of what we're thinking.
Dear Sydney, I've been thinking about you and about the way pain shaped both of us. That feeling like the world was already closing in before you even had a chance to move. You missed birthdays, field trips, whole pieces of childhood, but you never complained. You lost your hearing, but you faced cancer head on. You just kept going. Back then, I didn't know how to understand any of it, so I ran from rooms I couldn't fix, from feelings I didn't want to sit with. You stayed still, I kept moving. You learned to live with limits that were never yours to begin with, on how much you could take, on what you could become. And maybe it's time we challenge that. It's your decision on whether you want to accept it, but I sent you something.
I'm done asking, why me? And holding the pain that was never mine to carry. I'm done telling myself I can't. Pain tried to define me, but I kept moving. This isn't just a run, it's a reckoning. This is where I push past what I thought was possible. This is where limits break.
That's where we're at in the voiceover. So we made it much shorter. We have it, the speaker's kind of a 50-50. Jackie's more like 60-40 speaking throughout it.
Dear Sydney.
But we're gonna start with, of course, a interesting, eye-catching opener.
Dear Sydney.
And then we're gonna have Jackie writing the letter to him. We're also gonna try testing out some AI stuff. We're gonna just at least try. We're not gonna spend too much time. Maybe a day, a session on some AI stuff for to include in the video and see if we can make it look professional. I think that it'll be nice to have. And yeah, what did you think of the voiceover?
Feeling like the world was already closing in before you even had a chance to move. You missed birthdays, field trips, whole pieces of childhood, but you never complained. You lost your hearing, but you faced cancer head on.
So that sounds weird because we took out a word like right before it. Let me see if I can.
You face cancer head on. You lost your hearing, you face cancer head on.
Again, this won't be the final voiceover. This is just placeholders.
You face cancer head on. You just kept going. Back then, I didn't know how to understand any of it. So I ran from rooms I couldn't fix.
And that also is weird, but that'll be different as well.
And from rooms I couldn't fix, from feelings I didn't want to sit with. You stayed still, I kept moving. You learned to live with limits that were never yours to begin with, on how much you could take, on what you could become. And maybe it's time we challenge that. It's your decision on whether you want to accept it, but I sent you something.
We're also gonna move I sent you something somewhere else, and we're gonna end this with like
Your decision on whether you want to
it's
hear
your
it or not.
decision whether you want to accept it or not, and that's the end, or something like that. Because we want I sent you something to be earlier.
On whether you want to accept it, but I sent you something.
The speed, we might slow it down and push it throughout here, because there's no voiceover here.
I'm done asking, why me? And holding the pain that was never mine to carry. I'm done telling.
I think his part is extremely strong. It's like such a uppercut. It's like we were hitting him with a little bit of jabs, and then he hit him with a 1-2, and then an uppercut. He's got that finisher. He's gonna uppercut them.
Myself, I can't. Pain tried to define me, but I kept moving. This isn't just a run, it's a reckoning. This is where I push past what I thought was possible. This is where limits break.
Yeah, I think it's pretty nice. I think once we get the visuals in there and everything, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good for sure. So let's get finished with these selects and get working immediately. Let's not waste any time here. I'm thinking on stand for this actually. I don't think I've stood for any of the streams. This? Alright, I'm gonna play the music a little bit louder for now because we're just gonna vibe. We also updated to a new Davinci 20.01. I don't even know if I can recover this. This was filmed like pretty dark. I like this shot though with like the Ultra box in it. Yeah, I like that a lot. Yeah, it was dark. But let's do some magic. We can bring it up a tad. I was testing out a little bit. I want to get really good at low key lighting. Oh, it's because that's why. Sorry, that's why. All of these, the reason why these are all so dark is because there was a contrast adjustment on it that shouldn't have been there. There we go. Much better. Yeah, I was a little bit worried too when I was watching. I was like, did we really like expose it that dark? But we didn't. It was just a color grading. But that's a interesting thing about that is that just shows how much you can push an image to be dark after the fact. A lot of videographers, a lot of cinematographers, they actually film these dark scenes with proper exposure in camera, and then they just color grade the crap out of it and make it seem dark. I kind of went for even filming it a little bit underexposed because I really wanted a low-key lighting vibe in this, especially for this intro. I like that. The Ultra box for some reason looks so clean. I've never seen a shoebox that looks that good. I'm looking for the perfect little rotation. This is kind of cool. It's a little fast. It's a little fast. I like that too, this camera movement. Is it looking better? It was really dark, but I was like, why is it so damn dark? We filmed the same thing like a bunch of times, just ensure we got it. That's like insecure filmmaking, but I'd rather have extra than not enough. This lighting actually looks pretty good. I wish I could remember the difference that we did. I think we just ND'd higher. We used more ND for this. I think we kept the lighting setup the same, but we just ND'd higher. I really like this. I like the half silhouette type of image. I also think with the voiceover, we need a little bit more emotion from Jackie. This is Jackie. His name is literally Jackie Chan. Nice. I'm okay with it being silhouetted. And you can, as you can see the light right there, but we're not gonna have that. Yeah. They're dope. I'll show you the running shoe here in a second. They had us get through the whole 70-mile trek through Jackie. Faith Blur's asking if you would let me do an 8-hour stream. If you would be okay with me doing an 8-hour stream. He thought maybe you wouldn't be too happy if I did that. Yucky. Yeah, thank you, Blur. We were trying our best. We're doing our best to be cinematographers. We put our cinematography hat on for the bedroom sequences. I've been making Faith do chores. Not chores like making her do my chores. We do chores together. And we do laundry parties. And we watch Love Island while we do laundry. Well, actually, we haven't yet, but that's the game plan. To get our laundry done. That's a good shot of his face. What's gonna be exciting about this edit is like somehow weaving in the Japan and China content together. So if I had unlimited budget and I had a gaffer, what we would probably do is add more fill on his face here. You see how it's so dark? But I mean, this was a 2-man crew, 3-man crew. You've been watching the new Love Island? Are you caught up in the new season? Damn, face. He said it's terrible. He said it's terrible. Yeah, what they're doing is pretty terrible. I agree. Hopefully I get this right. I like the push-in type feel. And here, we were just trying to get a splash of light on his face. So he wasn't fully silhouetted, but here, Blur Vision, do you know the difference between low-key lighting and high-key lighting? I'm sure you could probably guess what the difference is. I will say Blur Vision, I did like last season. This season's pretty hard to watch for me. This was shot on the red Komodo and vintage glass. So we are shooting with Ukraine lenses here. Oh, I love this. Just a bunch of pen movements. And we did some unique movements too. I'm liking the problem with shooting stuff like yeah, it's more contrasty, it's more dramatic. Everything is like pretty dark and moody. High key is like pretty much everything's bright. Everything's bright. It's very commercially like but I would say this is a narrative film, and so I wanted to have kind of a Hollywood style, so I went with the low-key lighting. Honestly, I am a big advocate of low-key lighting over high-key lighting. I get much more hyped up over low-key lighting. Some of my favorite movies, all of them are... Actually, most movies are always low-key lighting, but comedies, for instance, are high-key lighting. Most of them, at least. So here we used a lot of lights, or we used 3 lights. Sorry, I have to text this. Someone's literally Ubering a hard drive to me, which is pretty cool for editing. Sorry. Let's look at a wide angle shot so I can give you the lighting breakdown. This will do. This will do, I think. So, at least on the close-ups, I'll give you a lighting breakdown of the close-ups. So, for this shot, obviously there's not a light right here because it's the wide angle shot, but I wanted to do an establishing shot where you can see there's a light over here on this left. So this will be our practical light right here. So this essentially is going to be a light that is, there's going to be a light that we put up right here, and the practical is motivating that light that's hitting him on his face here, as well as the curtains. So when you see the wide angle, you see a light here and the curtains. So you're like, oh, that's where the light is coming from. But when you go on a close-up, we actually have a light off to the side here, off camera, over here. And it is a nan light. It is a 60 watt nan light with full RGB. And so 60 watts is not very powerful. So we had to put it pretty close, and we put a softbox over it. And that was his main key light. So that's how we're lighting this side of his face, as well as a little bit of this. And all of this in the background is fake light. So when we lit it a little bit darker, you could see it looks like morning. Or when you color grade it, it looks like morning. So we're blasting a 300 watt a nan light from outside to create a morning sunrise. So there's a 300 watt out here, and there's another 60 watt right here. The 60 watt is having the practical light motivate. His face is motivated by the practical light. That is the key light right here. And we also had a hair light above him. So we had a hair light that was separating his hair from the background. That was a pavo tube. So we had a pavo tube back here. And I remember I think I made the mistake of making this side of his face a little bit too contrasty. So we actually had a negative fill over here on this side of the frame. And as you can see, it's really dark, but that's okay. And I think it's okay that it's dark, because I'm not afraid of intense shadows. But what I would have done differently is actually, instead of having a negative fill here, we would have bounced some fill light into this side of his face. So we would have a little bit more detail in his face. But yeah, that was the lighting breakdown. If I could draw it, I would. Faith, I need your iPad. Let me draw on stream and connect it to my computer so I can show them the lighting setup. That's what I secretly got your iPad for, Faith. It was her birthday present, but I got it because you can do a lot of cool creative things on it. And also, she wanted one, so I was thinking win-win, right? I don't use it very often. Don't worry, I don't steal her iPad. But yeah, that's the lighting setup. We you know, when it comes to lighting, I'm still a student, right? So I shot it 2 times, and I shot it one with a lot more exposure. Like, as you can see, there's a lot of exposure in here, especially in the wide angles. And here you can see there's a lot of exposure. I wanted to see the difference between that and this, shooting it like darker like this. And this we really, so in pressure, I had a gaffer who was doing the lighting, and I would supplement some things that I wanted as well. Of like, I basically gave him the vision of like, this is what type of look I'm wanting, and this is where I want the key lights to be. This is how we want me and the DP, we were like, this is where we want the camera to be, the angle and stuff. I lost my train of thought. I don't know what I was going with. I don't know what's happening to my brain right now. I don't know where I was going with what I was saying. Oh, what I was gonna say is, so you can see here, this is our key light. We actually use a pavo tube to wrap around his face. So when you have a key light off to the side, sometimes you lose a lot of, key light off to the side here. Sometimes you lose a lot of light on the side of the face. So we wrapped the face with a pavo tube horizontally like this, so it wraps around his face. But the gaffer for pressure, he really showed me that you can push, for low-key lighting, you can really push the limits of your camera. Even though your camera's screaming at you that, oh, this is really underexposed, as long as your highlight regions are exposed, and the way you can check this is by having I'm blanking on the word. It'll come to me. The word will come to me. It's a type of color. It'll come to me. We were also using I'm sorry, my brain is not working at all. I haven't been thinking about this stuff. Filming LiDAR. We were using LiDAR for this shoot. This is one of my favorite shots here, actually. Not with Alex in the background, but him pulling up. Feels very commercial-esque. Him grabbing the desk and lifting it up. Feels very commercially. This is Jackie Chan. No, you're good. I'm trying to remember what... False color. That's what it is. If you have false color on your monitor and you check your highlight regions and those are in looking good, I would research false color. You need to have a monitor to look at that, but that's how you monitor your levels. Look at Jackie. That's funny. That's what I should have the thumbnail be for the Ultra live streams. These are actually a little dark, which I'm surprised. Here we go. These are the shots that I liked. We threw on the wide angle lens. It's just a simple shot, yet very effective. With this, you use a friction arm. Essentially what's happening here is the camera is attached to the table with a friction arm. And so when he lifts it, the whole movement is being captured as well. Oh, the bottom of the frame is not being shown here. So when he lifts it, it like goes with it. So it's pretty cool. It's gonna be nice to match with everything. Look at this right here. That's a oopsie. That's not supposed to be there. Hopefully we move it. There we go. We move it. Okay, good. We were so gassed by the end of this shoot too. This day we stayed up until 4 a.m. because we had to film a whole nother project for his company. Actually, he owns a company called Pro Friction. I don't like those. I like I'm definitely using these. I'm definitely using that, and he can't say anything about it. I need to lift the exposure up on this. I'm definitely posting this on my Instagram here. Oh, I forgot. I need to post frames from Japan today too. Looks like we're adding things to our list. Our to-do list for today. Let's make these a bit brighter too. Oh, and we also need to get Faith the Japan selects, which man, we have a lot to do. Always something to do. Okay. He wakes up. You know what I need to do after every single shoot is to write down everything that I learned from that shoot in one spot, so I could say, okay, so the first set of clips that we captured on the Komodo, we were filming at a higher exposure, than we decided to go down on the exposure, and these were the results. So I can learn from my mistakes. Okay, that's necessary. We use some Pro Blends here. This isn't Pro Blends, but we used diopters. If you don't know what a diopter is, it essentially turns any lens into a macro lens. So these shots are all diopter. So it's pretty cool. Gives it a really microscopic look. As you can see, we put it on, so it's out of focus, and then we put on the filter, and then magically, but it was so difficult because we didn't have a thread, the correct thread size. So it was really freaking difficult. This was really difficult. We had to like really go crazy on this one. It was so hard to like get it exact. It was a thick. It was a thick diopter. Yeah, this is like natural prism blur. Natural anamorphic blur. The problem is we don't have these words anymore that we captured. We took out the way pain has shaped us. I took that out. Honestly, if I just got like the vibe of the it took many attempts. Dang, it sucks that we don't have these voiceovers anymore. So this was Ukraine lenses. It was, hi Aaron, welcome to the stream by the way. These were they were filmed with Dune 2 iron glass lenses from Ukraine. So they utilize Helios 442, and so it has there's a couple. There's the Mirror 20, the 20 millimeter. There's a 35 millimeter, a 58, which is the Helios, the famous Helios vintage lens, and an 85, the Jupiter 85 iron glass, vintage glass. But the way that we're getting so close to this is we're using diopters. And so we throw diopters on the lens to get this macro level look. Hopefully we still have the hospitals in the voiceover. Nice. We have Dear Sydney, which is important. That's kind of cool. I've been thinking about you. We're definitely going to have I've been thinking about you, so this will be a good clip to have. But if you want to look up the specific lenses on the internet, they're called iron glass adapters. I have the city modded version. They were EF mounts, cinema glass, fun stuff. Aaron, have you been on this stream before? I think I recognize your name. This is I like the lighting a lot here. The way Payne shaped, I like the lighting there. This here is a little bit dark. The silence, I don't think we have the silence anymore. I don't think we have any of this. Yeah, I remember seeing your name. Remind me where you're from and maybe I'll remember. Are you the one from Detroit? Peaks to Reefs, what is good? Welcome, welcome. Peaks to Reefs, let me know where you are from. Tell me about yourself. Oh, wow. Well, welcome back, Aaron. You will soon learn that my memory is not my strong... Oh, Edinburgh. Okay, yeah. I remember talking to you about Scotland. My memory is not my greatest asset. That's for sure. Okay, guys, so today's a very eventful day. We are working on a brand campaign. We're almost done with these selects. Bear with me through this part. We're going to get through and I'm going to show you the voiceovers that we have and the music that we have for it and my thought process going into the brand. the brand video. But yeah, these diopters give it a really unique character. Man, it's so nice to see all these awesome people in the chat. Thank you guys for stopping in. Thank you for saying hello. Thank you for being here. Hopefully I will be able to give you guys some value today. And you can go home with some knowledge, or you're at your house already and okay, good. We have face cancer. Thank you, sir. Peaks to Reefs, are you from my Instagram, from YouTube? Tell me about yourself, sir. Okay, I need more his eyes, not really his nose. Yeah, that's better. We're like really in his pores right now. We said, Jackie, you better have good skin because we're getting really close up to your face. And guys, so the lighting setup for this, we had a projector mount outside. This actually took so many tries to get. So this is the window here outside. We had a 300-watt light blasting to get this morning light. But to get it on his face, we actually used a projector to light his face. But we couldn't get it right. So it took us lots of attempts and also moving the camera. But eventually, I think we got a nice image. Like, I think this is a nice image because we're getting contrast right here. Instagram, part of KC was blown away with your My Year, big inspo, seeing the progression in those vids of yours from 2021 through 2024. Man, thank you for being here. That is great to hear. I'm actually working on a video right now about pressure and the making of pressure, and also I have a little BTS of me talking to the camera before I even wrote the script for pressure, being like, this year I basically, this is the last shot for me to win. Like, it's basically winning or nothing. And I'm putting out a video about that whole process. And I really gave it my all on that last one. But I appreciate you stopping into the stream and saying what's up. What's your name? I may know you through KC already. So the goal here was to get... So with lighting, I don't like filming on anything besides the shadow side. Thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. I have a lot of BTS and stuff, like breakdowns of the lighting and the script and all that stuff too. A big rule in cinematography is shoot shadow side, so you want the light actually to be on the other side of his face. But for this, I didn't want this whole face lit up. I want to see some shadow on his ear, on his neck. I want it to be like it's coming through the window, like it's little light. And I think it turned out pretty good. I'm gonna remove this light switch in the edit, I think. Peaks to Reef, Adam Schilling. Sounds somewhat familiar. Are you competing in the new Colder Creative competition, the drone one? I don't know if you saw him release that. Okay, that's pretty cool. Almost through these.
Friend, I understand this much.
I always skip this. That's good there. It's crazy how much time filmmaking takes. Not only the filming process, but the editing process is like crazy. It takes forever. And I always think, like, I give myself deadlines like, oh, I'll get it done in 2 weeks. I'll get it done in 1 week. It's always longer than 1 or 2 weeks. All right, so these are probe lens shots. If you guys know what probe lenses are really fun. They're some of my favorite type of shots. What sucks about this is you can clearly see the light in there, which hopefully changed. Yeah, I'm at an editing overload right now as well. We might not use these probe lens shots because it's shaky, and also there's a light in it, which is not ideal. I spent all last year collecting lenses and learning about lenses. So I have a couple of cinema sets, and I have a probe lens. The first time I saw a cinema lens, I was like, dang, this is like so cool looking. So cool looking. What type of projects are you working on? Is it travel? Is it what type? Give me the rundown on what you're up to. It's kind of a cool shot, but it doesn't make sense. I mean, it's just a line. But I don't save it just to have it. Let's see. Really, you want to have the probe lens on a slider. You see how shaky it is? We might just throw out all of these images. Let's see if we have at least one good one. There we go. As long as I can keep that. I think it was freaking out on the gimbal right here. Oh my gosh, so shaky. There we go. We got at least one. At least one shot. We got at least one shot, guys. Okay, that's pretty good too. I'm okay with a little bit of camera shake. Once these are color graded. All corporate marketing stuff at the moment. A door company, elevator company, HVAC or HVAC company. Headshots, lifestyle stills, interviews, and some action B-roll. Sounds like you're busy, and that's the most important part. is like being able to stay consistent and busy. So that's awesome. So this needs to be flipped upside down. And this way. It's kind of a cool shot there. Yes, I do. I recommend Nanlite lights. And I recommend if you buy Nanlite to stay consistent with Nanlite, because you can use them on an app, and you can have them all connected at once, and when all your lighting is done, you can just be able to drag whatever you want on your phone, and it's like changes instantly. I'm a big fan of Nanlite. It's affordable, it's light. I would say they use a lot of plastic in their builds, but I haven't had any problems with Nanlite so far. And the lights themselves are really high quality. Stefan, what is good? And also Perry, I'm glad you're here. In terms of mics, I know like the Sennheiser is supposed to be good. I don't really know too much about mics. I don't do too much audio. But it depends what you're going for. If you're wanting like interviews and stuff, I would recommend just getting like the DJI mics, like lavalier mics. Someone in here might have good recommendations for you actually in terms of mics. All right.
I think I'm downplaying us or what we had, but I understand. I think we were right for each other, just the wrong time.
It's not the niche I want to stay in forever, but last year or so became the bread and butter for my business. Fairly consistent work and organic growth, plus easy to sell the value. Nice. Dude, honestly, just use that to fund your travels. Keep grinding on that. Start hiring people to help you with it. Let it do its thing, and then start traveling with that income, and build up that travel portfolio. Like you could probably take on like pretty low budget stuff to build up the travel niche if you're already making good money from the other. Like you could use it to accelerate into the niche that you're actually wanting to be in. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. How do I always end up just doing selects on stream? Every single time I end up just doing selects. It's just because the select process is like a lot longer than I assume it would be. I don't want to bring down shadows actually. I kind of want to bring up shadows, keep on bringing down highlights. Man, the Sony dynamic range is actually pretty impressive, I'm not gonna lie. Alright guys, so this is the new character in our short film, or not short film, for our narrative film. So we have Jackie, who's his brother, who's athletic, and this is Sydney. In Sydney, unfortunately, at a young age, he developed brain cancer. And he had to go through chemotherapy, and he actually ended up losing his hearing due to the chemotherapy. But he has like little magnetic inserts that he puts on, and he can hear, which is pretty crazy. They got him really innovative really innovative treatment. Oops, 1 second, that was weird. My audio is all messed up. 1 second. Okay, cool. So they were able to save his hearing, and he was like such a funny guy. He was a great, really good-hearted, great guy, and so I want to make him a freaking badass in this film for Ultra. Essentially, Jackie, his brother, is inviting him to a 70-mile hike in the Gobi Desert. And this is him opening his brother's letter and also the box of shoes. And we got this nice spot in California that we filmed it in. They live out in Los Angeles, and they knew of a good spot, and we got it done. I actually ended up getting these guys stuck on a mountain. I was directing them, and I was like, all right, we need you guys to go up this mountain. Like, we need some really intense footage. It was it was after 20 miles of walking, and I wasn't doing enough thought of like, oh, can they actually do it? They seemed pretty gassed, but I was like, we need to get the shot. Like, we just need to. And so I like highly encouraged them to go up a mountain. And what ended up happening was they got stuck because during the climb, Jackie hit a big boulder and it went down and hit Sydney's leg. And Sydney was already exhausted from everything. Like, we had a 20-mile hike in the Gobi Desert, so it was hot and all types of things. And he got pretty freaked out by that, and it hurt. You know, it hit his leg, it hurt. And so his mental state got really kind of fearful being on this like slippery slope mountain. I'll show you guys the footage of the mountain eventually. And so they were stuck there for like almost 45 minutes to an hour, and he would just get more and more afraid, like, oh, I can't get down, this and that. To be fair, he was exhausted, and also he had a huge boulder hit his leg, so he was a little bit sketched out. Also, he's not like a hiker. He doesn't like do hikes typically. So we actually had to end up call to get help from the group that we were with in the Gobi Desert to come get them. Was the last note for the color output space Sony S Gamut.Cine? Why not Rec 709? Let's look. So was the last node for the color output color space? Oh, sorry guys. Sorry. I was wondering why it looked a little strange. Good catch. I was too busy yapping. That's better. Much more saturation. I was like, why does it look so dull? Like, I know for a fact it was much more vibrant than this. little did he know, when we were filming this, I was going to put him on a mountain. He would get stuck, and we would have to have the emergency team come help us and literally carry him down from the mountain. These are the implants here. It was really cool. Like, when you had him on, he could hear. When you took him off, he couldn't. I mean, I guess not cool, but like, it's cool how they worked. Really cool how they worked. Look at this flaring on the Tamaran lenses. It's actually pretty nice. I actually enjoy the flaring on Tamaran lenses. They're much harder to flare than the iron glass. If this was iron glass lenses, it would be flaring like crazy, which sometimes you don't want that. So the sequence is him walking down and checking out. And also, guys, guess what side we're shooting on? Somebody say it. What side are we shooting on? I want to hear somebody say the correct side. Or type the same side, their correct side. What side? It's a golden cinematography rule. Not really a rule, I guess a preference. Shadow side. Wow, Faith. You're a great cinematographer. That is correct. We're shooting shadow side. Essentially what's happening here in this lighting, the sun over here is creating a key light. The sun is our key light. If we had a big crew and all this stuff, we would put up some diffusion to diffuse the sun, but we didn't. It's just me and my Sony ZV-E1 and a little gimbal. So we're working with hard light, harsh light, and we want him to be in an angle where he has this in his light, this little Rembrandt light on his cheek. That's what you want to look for when you're shooting. When you're like, oh, I don't really know where I should be pointing the talent, like where I should be positioning the talent in relation to the camera. 9 times out of 10, the best spot is shadow side, and angling him so he has this Rembrandt lighting on him. Because if this whole side of his face is bright, it'll be a flat image. Everything's super bright here. At least we can get some shadow on his face over on this side. So that's the thought process going into it. When I'm at a location, I'm okay, where is the sun? Where do I want to position him? Where does the camera want to be? It doesn't matter that some of these spots, there's better scenery over on the other side potentially. I'm more interested on the best lighting that we could possibly get in a location. That's a nice one there. Once this is color graded, it's gonna look really nice. Right now it's super orange, but when this is color graded, it's gonna be juicy. Very, very juicy. So, was just getting coverage of him opening it, reading the letter, stuff like that. His hands were in front, and what I like to do with my marketing videos is to not make a video about the shoe itself. Obviously, this is pretty heavy product placement, like he's opening the Ultra box, whatever. But to create a powerful and emotional story while including the product in that story, where it's just like, oh, they were using Altra shoes during this crazy adventure that they went on. Oh, this is perfect, actually. Although the letter isn't very laughing. If he said something funny in the letter, that would be great. Well, this is perfect. Him smiling and stuff. I want to make people cry with this film. That's the shoe right there, Ultra. Yeah, Sydney's the best. And here he goes, let's do it. Like a motivated, let's do it. We're losing some detail on his hair and his side of his face. That's when you want to use that fill. Put some fill light on his face, on the side of his face. Get anything white, like a white board, and just blast it back. So you get some more light and detail. He's like, yeah, look at these shoes. These are some nice shoes. This will be a pretty story-heavy oriented film. Oh, that's a nice shot. I swear the shoebox looks like so cool and with light. It's like, I don't know why it does to me. Okay, we're almost done. We're almost done, guys. This is kind of his hero shot moment here. One of them. With that sunset. It's going to look really nice when it's fully graded and the shadows are brought up. Oh, he's getting kind of lost in the background, actually. I think I have a better angle here somewhere. Yeah, these shadows are crushed. Let's see if I can save them. Oh, yeah. A lot better. Not a lot better. They're still a little crushed. There we go. This is a lot better exposure. I wish I filmed the whole thing in that exposure. Okay, that's that. We're done with the selects. This is some of his stuff. Them as kids. I'm assuming that's Jackie and that's Sydney. Big basketball fans. I might not use any of this because the lighting was a little much. But we'll see. We could use it. Or not enough. The lighting had left a lot to be desired, I think. I'm pretty sure I was supposed to film this, but I had to leave to... Whoa, what is going on here? That is very orange. I wasn't able to film this because I had to leave for China earlier. Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy orange. We got some white balance issue going on here. Steven, are you in here? Steven filmed this. Mr. Sakamoto. It's very orange. Way too orange. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to use any of that stuff. Maybe like glimpses of it. All right. Let's bring these over to our all selects. Name this Altra. Alright guys, so in terms of the Ultra video, let's play the sound. Let's play the voiceover. You guys tell me what you think on the voiceover. This isn't the final voiceover. This is a rough draft. He sent me an iPhone recording. I'm hoping that we don't have to use iPhone quality voiceover for the campaign, but he's still in China. There's no mic there. He's not coming back until the 17th. So the beginning is going to be kind of a exciting intro. It'll be some whooshes and some fast-paced stuff, and then it'll go into this.
Dear Sydney, I've been thinking about you and about the way pain shaped both of us.
Okay, so that's good. We do have pain shape both of us because I recorded that when he was writing it. Also, keep in mind, there's going to be some like weird sounding stuff in the voiceover. That's just because we had to correct it pretty quickly. And we're just putting something where we took a lot of pieces from different places and put it together.
The silence, the hospitals, that feeling like the world was already closing in before you even had a chance to move. You were just a kid, but you faced cancer head on. You lost your hearing, you missed birthdays, field trips, whole pieces of childhood. But you never complained. You just kept going. Back then, I didn't know how to understand any of it. I just knew you were in pain, and that scared me. So I moved. I ran. From rooms I couldn't fix, from feelings I didn't want to sit with. You stayed still. I kept moving. But maybe both of us were just doing what we had to do. I guess what I'm trying to say is, you learn to live with limits that were never yours to begin with, on how much you could take, on what you could become. And maybe it's time we challenge that. It's your decision on whether you want to accept it, but I sent you something.
I'm done asking, why me? And holding the pain that was never mine to carry. I'm done telling myself I can't. Pain tried to define me, but I kept moving. This isn't just a run, it's a reckoning. This is where I push past what I thought was possible. This is where limits break.
The ending is powerful. Sydney's a beast. That was powerful at the end. I think we need work in here, throughout here, but
Sydney,
we can start it at
I've
least.
been thinking about you.
We can start it. We can start it. That's for sure. We took some good amount of inspiration from this film by Brady Bissett. They actually created it as a spec. It was called On. It was a running commercial, running spec, and it's really good. I'm gonna pull it up actually. I'm pretty sure he used Music Bed. To edit it. Wow, guys, I am actually pretty gassed today. I am pretty gassed. Let's look at it. On running shoes. Red Raptor spec ad. Oh, here we go. We're gonna have to watch it without audio actually. But this is where we took inspo from. Let's see what song is this. I'm pretty sure this is Music Bed, but I don't want to take a chance. So we didn't have a shower sequence, but the lighting in this is really nice. I shot sick. Basically, she's writing a letter to her dad. Well, it actually wasn't even a letter. She actually left a voicemail to her dad. And they did a really good job with this. I wish you guys could hear it. I'm pretty sure this is Music Bed, though, if there's a thing like that. But just showing where the inspo came from for this piece. That's really cool. You already know we're going to do sequences like that. What I love about the way that the editor did this is like these look really kind of crazy, distorted, and cool. And I'm not sure if he did like a zoom punch in. Let's see. Let's see what he did exactly here. Let's do playback speed 0.25. Let's see. It looks like, is it just a flash? Does he zoom in at all? Let's see. This is a corner of her. Huh. I think it's just a flash. I don't think it's even a zoom in. I think it's just like a flash filter. Oh, he zooms in just a bit, I think. Yeah, it zooms in just a bit. Yeah. Just a little bit of displacement, and then it's like boom, fast-paced stuff, heavily distorted, grainy. We could add like grain and all types of crazy stuff. I really like how he did his little transition things here. Feels elevated the way he did it. I don't know what it is, but it feels elevated. Let's see this one. Oh, it's perfect. Landed straight on it. So that is a zoom in and a flash. Probably just like an exposure increase. It's like boom. It goes into stuff like that. Yeah, 2 flashes. That's cool. It seems like an elevated effect for sure. So we're gonna do something similar in our piece. Any tips on settings for a banger slow shutter effect? Yes, actually, I have. That's so funny that you said that. Well, actually, is it in camera or is it out of camera? Like, I know how to do both. From in camera, doing a slow shutter, and then in post, like putting a slow shutter effect on something that was already filmed. I actually have the steps written down in my Notion. But let's see what we can do here to start this edit. Let's just start it. Okay, cool. So I would, depending on what camera you have, I would go to like 1/13 or 1/10. And that's really it in terms of low shutter. It's like find the low shutter effect that you really want to like mess around with the 1 over whatever, just anything that's under 50, and determine which one, like what type, how much of like the low shutter effect that you want. The lower you go, the more shuttery it'll be. But also make sure that you have ND filters and stuff, because the lower the shutter you have, the higher the exposure will be. And so you need to have some pretty intense ND filters, especially if it's like bright outside. You need like a 6 to 9 or something. But 1/13, 1/10, that's usually where I hang around.
Dear Sydney, I've been.
So this is gonna be nice. You hear this little beginning? There's a lot of cool stuff we can do here, like we could flash things. And in terms of the other way of doing it, I'll pull up something that has all the steps you need. Actually, it's just a photo. Let me pull it up. This is in After Effects. These are the settings you need for low shutter. I have it saved in my Notion. This, I'll pull it up on my Instagram. But if you this is just like filmed normally, and I put a CC wide time on it. Forward steps 5, backward steps 2, frame rate 10.3. I'll show you the actual the actual footage. If you want to take a screenshot of this is exactly what you need for a low shutter in After Effects. Let me show you the Instagram post of that, and you can determine whether you want it or not. Let's go Instagram/Fitzmasterson. Where is it? Right here. So this low shutter effect is actually all done in post. There's another little spot of where it goes. That's all done in post. And if you screenshotted those settings, you'll exactly pretty much get the same effect. I got to do it in post when I shoot on the Red Komodo because it doesn't go. I can't even do the low shutter on the Komodo for some reason. All right, we could do some cool stuff here. We could even put in like this crazy. You are welcome. It's like it's probably like 4 shots. I love this little subway shot that I have. I'm gonna use it in so many things. As like a wipe transition. All right, I'll show you guys. Goodness gracious. This is how I set up my timelines when I'm editing. So once I have my all selects, get rid of that. I hit this plus button. If you don't see this plus button, go to this and say display stacked timelines. And the reason why you want stacked timelines is...
Dear Sydney.
Oops, I was in the wrong one. Was I playing the wrong?
Dear Sydney.
I think I was in the wrong one. You want the stacked timelines so you can have your all selects right below where you're editing on the timeline. That way you can like scrub through, grab your footage and throw it on here. If that makes sense. I'm gonna have to shrink this. Sorry guys, I know there's not much real estate. I mean, not much viewing real estate over here. The volume low on my mic or just in general? Let's bring this over and go over here. Okay, I'll show you guys something that I really like doing is like, this is a cool moment. I want to bring this over here and start and kind of merge this together. I really like the sound effects it's doing. So let's go like this. So we can have some flashes. And then we just kind of taper this off. So we can have that same start.
Dear Sydney, I've been thinking about you and about the way pain shaped both of us.
Excuse me, Blur, are you talking about the My volume or this volume in general, like the edit, like the timeline volume. I can turn up my desktop audio. Okay, so let's go over here and steal this that we just did. So this, we're wanting like a boom, 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 boom. And this is gonna get us into the what I call, for lack of better words, the shaba. For things that I don't know what the word is, I say the shaba. We're gonna make that shaba. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. But this, we can really put whatever the hell we want. That's the beauty of like the fast-paced intro things. Like we could go do like anything, literally anything. So let's put this here and just see. So this is kind of nitpicky, but what I like doing is having the viewer's eyes go from left to right. Typically throughout my just how I like it to be is like the motion of movement going from left to right usually. And so you see how he's running and the motion is left to right, right? That's how you kind of want to have it be. And I think it's cool having the shoe in it, like at a glimpse already at the beginning. Let's find a hero shot of somebody, of one of them. We could even do this, so they know it's a running film. It isn't really a running film, but it's a highly active film. Okay, it's kind of cool. I don't know if I'm actually going to keep this or what, but we can have this be one of them. Just so we have something on the board, you know? And edit, it's a lot easier to do once you have something on the board. Hopefully they won't get mad that there's like a bunch of other brands and like this is a Camelback. I hope that they don't care. Typically you're not supposed to have like other brands in it. I might not actually do this. Let me find like a desert version of that, if I have one. That's the two brothers there. I'm looking for some wet pans. Maybe there's some wet pans here. lot of funny content from this trip. Some of this stuff is ridiculous. Look at this. I'm not seeing like any wet pans. Looks like I didn't film any. This is when they had to carry him off the mountain. Here, I'll turn up my desktop audio. Desktop audio. Let's bring it up a good amount. How does this sound, guys? Better or no?
Dear Sydney,
Let me go over here and see.
and maybe it's time we challenge that. It's your decision on whether you want to accept it, but I sent you something.
I'm done asking, why me? And holding the pain that was never mine to carry. I'm done telling myself I can't. Pain tried to define me, but I kept moving. This isn't just a run, it's a reckoning. This is where I push past what I thought was possible.
Is that better?
This is where limits break.
Yeah.
Actually, I kind of like this because... Okay, that's fine. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. Let me know if the audio is better, if you can hear. So... We are going to start the film like this. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to start the film with an object. A close-up of an object. So they don't even know what they're seeing yet. So we're going to do a close-up of the actual notebook and potentially the Ultra like this. And then we are also going to do another like sequence of fast blurbs after this. So we're gonna go like this. It's gonna go and then something like that. Real fast again.
Dear Sydney,
Ooh, actually we don't have that much time. We might just go like this. But we do this to kind of get people's attention. They're like, oh wow. And this kind of introduces Ultra too, because it like you see Ultra, but it's also not like directly in your face. I like that as like a kind of opening detail shot. And now we go into the sequence of him writing the letter. So we need to get shots of him when he was sleeping, fully sleeping. And again, we want those establishing shots of the light over here. So, but I don't know if we're gonna get it because looks like I didn't film to have it really. It also feels kind of jumpy. I like this shot actually. Kind of jumps you right into the action. Let's do him just sleeping, snoozing. You see those little bumps? You can just take them out with stabilization. I almost want to do like close up, then a wide, which typically you do like wide and then close ups. But I kind of like this being a shot that we use. People will like really understand that it's a narrative. How long we take at the beginning. The lighting isn't very good right there. We might actually need more time at the beginning.
Dear Sydney,
Yeah, we're gonna need a lot more time at the beginning to introduce this. I mean, this is a lot longer than I would spend on most clips. Let's find something different here. Really like this shot, so we're gonna definitely use it somewhere. So since I have it, I'm just gonna bring it in somewhere around here.
dear Sydney,
I want to kind of hang on these shots
Dear Sydney,
more than I typically do. Let's do some tomfoolery here. Let's see this whole song. like the intro to this. I really like the intro to this. Okay, we're gonna use the intro for sure.
Dear Sydney,
Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. You just get kind of creative with mixing the audio, especially with the song. If you're not liking it, don't be afraid to like mix two different parts with other parts. Something like that. Wait, what happened to my fast-paced stuff? 1 second. Okay, here it is. Just gives us more time to get into it. This kind of also starts. This also is kind of like a intro. So we can have him like waking up here, or just like a clip of him sleeping, waking up, taking your time. I really want to have a lot of time of him like waking up, and people are like, okay, what am I watching? Then it gets, you know, more and more intense. We could even say like Dear Sydney somewhere over here, or it could even be a montage. Like here, it could be even montage of like the trip, where we throw some of our travel elements in here, and people are like, is this a travel film? What is this, narrative film? And then we continue the sequence of him waking up. So I'm thinking I kind of like that as my intro. And then it goes into it.
both of us. That feeling like the world was already closing in before you even had a chance to move of it. So I ran from rooms I couldn't fix, from feelings I didn't want to sit with. You stayed still, I kept moving. You learned to live with limits that were never yours to begin with, on how much you could take, on what you could become. And maybe it's time we challenge that. It's your decision on whether you want to accept it, but I sent you something.
That's what I'm thinking. A little bit more time on that intro. So in total, it'll be a 2 minute video, but I think that would be nice. Let's kind of think about it. Like, for instance, let's like put a shot of him like waking up here. Or even the shot of the, like something like this. No, definitely start with him sleeping as our opener, and then details. And him waking up. What was that doubt? Like somewhere around here, we would like, it's like fast transitional stuff, like like sound effects, like something like that, and then we could say like, "Dear Sydney," here.
Dear Sydney, I've been thinking about you and about the way pain.
We didn't even have something like this, like. And he's getting ready to write.
Dear Sydney, I've been thinking about you and about the way pain shaped both of us. That feeling like the world was already closing in before you even had a chance to move. You miss birthdays, field trips, whole pieces of childhood. But you never complained. You lost your hearing. You faced cancer. But you never complained. You lost your hearing. You faced cancer head on. You just kept going. Back then, I didn't know how to understand any of it. So I ran from rooms I couldn't fix, from feelings I didn't want to sit with. You stayed still, I kept moving. You learned to live with limits that were never yours to begin with, on how much you could take, on what you could become. And maybe it's time we challenge that. It's your decision on whether you want to accept it, but I sent you something.
I'm done asking, why me? And holding the pain that was never mine to carry. I'm done telling myself I can't. Pain tried to define me, but I kept moving. This isn't just a run, it's a reckoning. This is where I push past what I thought was possible. This is where limits break.
Trying something a little bit new with this. Like typically I wouldn't hang so long on shots, but trying some new things here. Like that shot. Oh guys, it's 7:15. 7:15. I know I didn't get much editing done, but the beginning is always kind of long. My day is coming to an end. But I think we got the bare bones for the edit. I'm gonna replace this with this shot. We got the structure ready for this edit. We just got to get in and just create stuff and keep on messing with it until like even this we go like something in there. Like we have so much time to do some cool things, which I kind of want to do. Something like that.
Dear Sydney,
But it kind of lags, so let's move things even more. You just gotta have to do this stuff and get it to the point where the flow is nice. You want the flow to be nice. Difficult thing about this is everything is kind of already done. Let's bring that down one. Let's bring it over here. Basically what we just did is we just matched the beat.
I've been thinking about you and about the way you're seeing. Dear Sydney, I've been thinking about you and about the way pain shaped both of us. That feeling like the world was already closing in before you even had a chance to move.
Yeah, I like that. Let's see. Something like that. You like my sound effects, guys? We could even make this less long.
Dear Sydney, I've been thinking about you and about the way
Yeah, I think that's gonna be sick, guys. I think that's gonna be sick because I'm gonna be able to throw in Japan footage, like Shibuya crossing stuff like that in here, and it's gonna give it like a wow, like this is China, Japan. Give it a bunch of different locations. Try to make people feel like they're on a roller coaster, really. Roller coaster of emotions, roller coaster of visuals. Um, and I think that this is a really good base. I like the beginning of this a lot. Like I could even kind of blur this in. I'm kind of mixing like cinematography with travel filmmaking and seeing if it works. Hopefully it does. What I don't like about this is it's a push in and this is like a push out, which kind of, I don't like the flow of that. But this is the base of the edit. We're gonna go hard this week and we're gonna try to get this done by July 3rd. Okay, that is our goal. Big goal. So we probably will have to live stream. Oh my goodness, my calendar's up. We're probably gonna have to live stream an 8-hour day and bang out the majority of the timeline. That's usually how I like editing. Once I get it kind of the structure right and just put it all together quickly in one day. But I appreciate you guys coming in and saying hello. My brain's a little fried. My body's a little fried. I'll have to stop for now. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully you got some value today. The main thing that I'm trying to do is to showcase something from start to finish. So I know it might be a little bit tedious. It might be a little bit boring at this beginning, but once you see the final product and then you can come back and see exactly like what I was thinking throughout the whole process, I'm hoping that will be helpful. And I hope that you guys have an amazing evening. I, for one, am about to go eat some salmon, do some laundry, and play some Mario. That's what I'm doing for the rest of the night with Faith. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you very much. I'm going to get rid of this. Second. Get in my outro. I hope you guys have an amazing evening. I'm gonna get some rest. Today was a tough one on my brain, my mental. Mondays are difficult for sure. So hope you guys have a great evening. I'll see you on the next one.
Today I depart. Meet the grand anatomy like a breeze curled in the embrace of the world's tepid branches. Think my father sung to a bird, the song unwritten, two mouths opening, closing to one another. And I will think my waltz to you, how it ripples and writhes in dim evening glow. This is how I write it, back and forth, triple time. How nobody writes a love song since.